Hi everyone, I need you to come closer, especially the young people. Today we're going to be talking about two prominent people, two prominent individuals. They were prominent in their generation, and trust me, they have great lessons that they want to teach us today. Who are they? I will unveil them after this break. Don't touch the dial. Alright, who are those two people that we are going to be talking about today? I call them the S-Men. The S-Men. So today's lesson, or today's topic is the lesson from the S-Men. Who are those S-Men? Number one, Samson, and number two, Solomon. Samson, the strongest in his own time. Solomon, the wisest in his own generation. Wow. You see, let's look at the similarities between the both of them. Samson and Solomon, what makes them similar? Number one, we'll call them, they were, in quotes, supermen. Solomon was given divine wisdom by God. Samson was given divine strength. So you see, those two people have, these supernatural gifts, and that qualifies them. Today, some the movie said X-Men, and those X-Men had these these abilities. But these people, I call them the S-Men, not XS, because their names start from S and they have this supernatural ability too. But then something else is common between the both of them. And what is that? They were both brought down, and they did not achieve their ministry. Their lives were cut short because of the decisions they took. Now let's start with Samson. Samson was a strong man, very, very strong, but he could not overcome a woman. He fell because of a woman, and then his destiny was cut short, his life was cut short, and what he was meant to do, the ministry he was meant to achieve, he could not achieve that. And where was he found? He was found on the laps of a woman. And guess what? The strong man that just stole a lion became someone who was reduced to a mace grinder. Just check about that. A mace grinder. That is what can happen when people don't take it. Now, young people, look here. Everybody, come close and listen attentively. You see, if this could happen to Samson, I want you to learn a lesson from that. Young people, they tell you, and you guy or boy, people call you chairman because ladies are running after you, and you are happy because they are running after you, and you're calling yourself, ladies like me, and you say, oh, no, any lady I will ask her that will not agree because of whatever. Hey, young man, let me warn you, beware, lest you end up like Samson. So when they are coming after you, don't boast after it. Rather, FLEE, flee and run for your life, so that your destiny is not cut short. It does not, it doesn't make sense that a strong man was reduced to a mace grinder by a woman. Then let's talk about Solomon. Solomon has many lessons to teach us. Let's bring Solomon to our own generation. Number one, Solomon was a celebrity. He was the wisest in his time. He was the richest in his own time. And he was very, very influential. Solomon. Let's look at some things about him. What are some of the lessons? But then before we look at these lessons one by one, we talk about Solomon. Now, Solomon was called a beloved of the Lord, but that guy, he's a chairman, 1,000 wives. Oh my God, 1,000 wives. I wonder what he will even be doing with those 1,000 women, gathering 1, 2, 3, and then 100, 200, 300, up to 1,000. Oh my. Solomon, you really tried. Let's take some lessons from Solomon. Number one, Solomon was the wisest unwise man. You ask yourself, how can somebody be the wisest unwise man? Solomon was the wisest unwise man. Number two, Solomon let his life to be driven by pleasure. Yes, his life was driven by pleasure. In short, in his own words, Solomon said whatever he desired, whatever he wanted, he just got it. He wanted wine, he got wine. He wanted whatever. His life was driven by pleasure. Number three, Solomon, the wisest man, he lacked discipline. If I can just get whatever I want, I want to take wine, I get wine. Music, I get music. Women, I get women. Anything I want. I can't control my appetite. I lack discipline. Solomon actually lacked discipline. He could not control his appetites. Number 4, he started as the beloved of the Lord. He ended up as one whom outlandish women made to turn away from God. That was a testimony about Solomon later. Say, even Solomon, who outlandish women made to turn away from the Lord. And his testimony from God at last was that God was angry with Solomon, and finally he used his life for experiment. What a great lesson that we can learn from. Now, let's take a close look again at this life of this young man. He tried women, he tried alcohol, he tried folly, and he provided whatever his body craved for himself. He tried everything that was tryable. At last, he ruined his life, and he gave us his research findings. So Solomon used his life as a project, as an experiment, as a research. He got his finding, of course, and he gave us both the findings and the deductions from his research. And what did he say? He said, vanity upon vanity, all is vanity. Now, his research findings, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 13, you see, he said, then I saw that wisdom excels folly as then I saw that wisdom excels folly or foolishness as light excels darkness. Solomon, after trying, gave us his answer. He said he discovered that wisdom actually excels foolishness just as light excels darkness. And he also gave us a recommendation. What was that recommendation? He said, now remember your Creator in the days of your youth. And the summary of life should be this: fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That is in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 1 and verse 13, which happens to be the last book of the book of Ecclesiastes. Now let's go on to see more things from the life of Solomon. I believe that if someone is walking in front of you and that person falls into a ditch, you wouldn't fall into the same ditch except you're perhaps stupid or foolish. Yes, because how will somebody fall into a ditch and then I also enter into the same ditch with him? Now, Solomon fell into this ditch. Samson also fell into this ditch. Solomon did the research for us. I want to tell us, young people, come closer. You see, this is basically for you. There are so many young people today who use their lives for research, but you know what you find? Solomon has done the research. He has gotten the answer. So you need not do that research anymore. Don't fall into the ditch that Solomon fell into. I'm very sure that you are not wiser than Solomon. Now, to all the young people out there, you will notice that what young people crave for today is the same thing that Solomon himself craved for. And what are those things? Money. Solomon had money. His money was so much that it could run a nation. He was stinkingly rich. You can call him a billionaire or trillionaire today, because Solomon had abundance of gold coming in for him. Pride. Women. Remember the chairman that gathered 1,000. 1,000. Now let me talk to those people who feel they are chairmen and they can be changing women, change 1, change 2, change 3, and just keep going. At the end of the day, you're just giving up your destiny, and you may end up like Samson or like Solomon. End up, when all the whole destiny is used up and there's nothing left, what is remaining? You be less than, let me use Hausa Menika, somebody that grinds corn. You'll be less than a person who grinds corn. Wealth, fame, alcohol, drugs, all those things. You see, Solomon lived in the 21st century in its own time because he had the money, he was rich, and so he decided to use his life to be flirty and say, oh, alcohol, let me test alcohol. He took alcohol and then say, oh, this alcohol, it's not what I want. And then say, let me go for women. He say, no, music, let me try music. I don't know the things that young people try today: women and alcohol and drugs and music and so on. You go clubbing and the rest. At the end of the day, the result does not change. Vanity upon vanity, all is vanity. Now, if Solomon confessed that after looking at all this, he found out that it was vanity, what is next? Learn from Solomon. Don't fall into the ditch that he fell into. The desire for pleasure is endless and it cannot satisfy. So you must discipline yourself, number one. Number two, you discipline your appetite. Number three, you be in charge. Be in charge of your life. Be in charge of your appetites. Then take hold on your destiny. Don't end up like Solomon. Don't end up like Samson. Then what should you do? Rather than pursue all these things that are worthless and all these things that will end up ruining your life, I will give you what to pursue. You pursue God, and you pursue God, pursue the purpose for which he created you, and finish or end up with a testimony and in honor or with honor. Lessons from the S-men, Samson, Solomon. A wise man will learn and take correction. As a young person, don't be unwise. As a young person, don't be foolish. Pursue God, pursue your purpose, finish well, end well. Lesson from the S-men. This is Edged and Inspirations. Thanks for following, thanks for listening, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and follow us on all social media. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you again. Bye for now.